Hey guys! I absolutely love it when it rains out here these days. Over the last few years, we have had such dry weather and have had a lot of trouble with grass growth on our pasture, as well as we've had a lot of trouble getting hay for our cows and our goats for the winter. So I always find it interesting when a lot of people are like, oh man, it's too bad it's raining. This weather sucks. Hopefully it'll get better in a few days. Because when it rains, I get really excited and I think it's great weather. Obviously I like it when it's nice outside too, when it's sunny, but it's funny how we call it nice, right? Shouldn't we just appreciate it for what it is? Anyways, I came out here to the back pasture because I wanted to show you guys the difference between areas that have been grazed once by cattle in a previous year on our place and then had chickens follow. I'm hoping you can see, even though it's raining and kind of gray out, that we have these bright green squares or strips on the ground here. These are where the pastured poultry, the meat birds, are in the summer, and this is where they traveled last year. And it's so cool this time of year because you can see, well, any time of the year you can see, as long as there's not snow on the ground, where the pens were, where the chickens were, and where the chickens weren't. So hopefully you can appreciate it here. It's even better in real life. But we have bright green grass where the chickens were, and we have a lot of really dull looking stuff where the chickens didn't travel. So I'm gonna take you around this corner here, so that you can appreciate these green squares from this direction. I think you can probably appreciate it there. But we've got all this really nice green grass where the chickens were. And so my goal is to try and get the chickens to cover as much as the back meadow or pasture for where we run our cows as possible, because I'm hoping we can use them to really restore some healthy grass here and ultimately improve the soil health as well. I think you can see some interesting contrasts here. We've had a lot of trouble, I shouldn't say a lot of trouble, but we have a lot of deer out here the last few years. And this spring, this grass was quite a bit taller than it is now. But the deer, I think we've got like usually 10 to 12 that are out here, have just mowed the bright green grass down in height. But you can still tell the difference even with them mowing it down. When they haven't mown it down, you can also tell that there's a much more diverse array of species, as well as like grass species, as well as much thicker leaves on the grass, greener, and you'll see some species in here in the green areas that you don't see in the dull areas where the chickens haven't gone. So it's pretty cool, because usually when I show this to people, their first response is, oh, that's really neat, but it's essentially you're just spreading fertilizer out there. But what I think is cool is that it's about a lot more than just fertilizing. The chickens not only spread their manure, they also scratch the ground, and they essentially wake up the seeds that are already present and encourage them to germinate. So it's a pretty interesting phenomenon, and something that you see in the wild, where you have ruminants grazing grasslands, and then a lot of times birds following them, ripping apart their manure piles, their poop, and spreading that around, which is wonderful, and also picking up bugs and developing really healthy bodies themselves while they're at it. So just thought I'd give you guys a bit of a sneak peek on that topic, and hopefully I can tell you more about it throughout the summer. Okay, have a good night.